When you're a kid, there are so many things you have to learn about the world. Some of them you might have tried to avoid being told about, but it's all a part of growing up. I definitely learned about a lot of those things in very awkward and unintended ways. For example, one time I found a pack of pads in the bathroom. I had never seen these before, but me, being a very smart child, did not need to ask anyone. I knew exactly what they were. So I decided that it was time that I started doing this adult thing too. I would start using pads. So I started pulling all of the pads out of the pack and sticking them to my legs. I thought that they were waxing strips. I'd seen TV commercials for waxing strips and I thought that these looked exactly the same. In this moment, I truly felt like I was so cool and so mature. I was proud of myself. When the bathroom door opened and my mom saw me with all these pads stuck to my legs, as you can imagine, it was a shock. I didn't find out what the real purpose of pads was that day, but I at least knew to not touch them anymore. Yeah, definitely not my proudest moment. I guess I was a bit like Scuttle from The Little Mermaid, finding random objects and deciding that I knew exactly what they were for. But I have another story which I think is a lot worse. One morning where I'd just woken up and opened up my bedroom curtain same as I usually do, I was just about to leave the room to go get some breakfast when something out the window caught my eye. On my street, there were communal bins used by everyone living there, and one of those bins just happened to be directly in front of my house. And the thing that had got my attention was right next to the bin on the ground. A big, bright pink box. And the same way that any other logical person would react. I just had to know what it was. So I immediately ran out of the house to go have a look at it. When I was up close, I still couldn't tell exactly what it was. But from looking at it through the clear plastic on the box and seeing that it was something big and bright pink, I could only come to one conclusion. It was a new toy for me. I mean, it was pink. It seemed so obvious. The same way how magpies are attracted to shiny things, little Wolfie was attracted to anything pink. I, of course, did not know who would leave a toy for me in the bin, but I was not thinking about that at all. I thought this was my lucky day. First of all, I know, gross. At least it wasn't directly inside the bin. Second of all, common sense? No, I didn't know her. I ran back into the house with it and showed my mom super excitedly. Her first reaction was a kind of, oh, that's great. But then she did a double take so hard when she heard that I got it from the bin. She took the box off of me to have a look at it while I was just jumping around excitedly like a dog waiting for a treat. I thought that she was just gonna help me open the box. I did not realize that there was anything wrong until she finally gave the box back and told me to put it straight back where I found it. I asked the reason why, and she kinda hesitated before whispering in my ear, "That's a toy for adult time." In my mind, I did not have an accurate idea of what that meant just yet. But I at least understood that it was not a present for me and I needed to get rid of it. So many years passed until I remembered this story and actually understood what the adult time toy was. It kind of reminds me of watching movies as a kid and not understanding a lot of the jokes, but then revisiting them as an adult and suddenly everything makes sense. But I can definitely say that this story is easily one of the most cursed childhood moments that I had. I feel like when most people talk about their most cursed childhood memories, they usually say that it's when they're taught about the birds and the bees by their parents. I somehow avoided getting this talk, so I never had that awkward moment. It was both a positive and a negative because I avoided being embarrassed on one hand, but on the other hand, it meant that I didn't learn what that stuff meant until I was quite a bit older than the average person. If you guys have any funny, awkward stories that you want to tell, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I just recovered from being sick and I feel super rested and super ready to make lots more videos for you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on my next ones. In the meantime, if you haven't already, check out my latest Storytime video about slumber parties. I'll see you over there. Thank you for watching. Bye!